Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. It is so good to see you guys. Grab your favorite mug, get comfortable, because today we are diving deep into something I know most of us can't live without. I'm talking about coffee. That beautiful, magical brew that gets us through our mornings, our afternoons, sometimes our entire day. It's that warm hug in a cup, that little boost of energy that says, "You got this." I mean, can you even imagine a world without it? Now, you might think you know your coffee. Lattes, macchiatos, light roast, dark roast. You might even have a favorite cafe where the barista knows your order by heart. But I'm willing to bet that some of the things we're going to talk about today will completely blow your mind. I did a ton of research, and honestly, I was shocked. Some of these stories are just wild. Ancient legends, modern-day science. Picture this. We're in the ancient coffee forests on the Ethiopian plateau, way back in the 9th century. There's this goat herder named Kaldi, just minding his own business, watching his flock. Goats are just doing their goat things, munching on grass and nibbling whatever else they can find. Then, Kaldi notices something weird. A bunch of his goats are acting, well, not like goats. They're jumping around, bleating like crazy, full-on dance party energy. Kaldi's probably thinking, what is going on with my goats? So, being curious, he decides to investigate. He follows the trail and sees them munching on bright red berries from a bush. He thinks maybe it's these berries. So he tries one himself. Immediately, he feels a wave of energy and alertness. He's a caffeinated goat herder. Excited, Kaldi rushes to the monastery to tell the abbot. The abbot is not impressed. He calls them the devil's work and throws the berries into a fire. But as they roast, an incredible aroma rises. Monks come running. They rake the roasted beans from the embers, grind them, dissolve them in hot water, and the world's first cup of coffee is born, all thanks to some dancing goats. From this legendary beginning, coffee would go on to become something much bigger than anyone could have imagined. Okay, so we know coffee is popular. I mean, just look at the number of coffee shops on any given street. But I don't think most of us realize just how massive the coffee industry truly is on a global scale. It's not just a popular drink. It's an economic powerhouse. Think about the biggest, most valuable things traded around the world. What comes to mind? Gold, cars, technology. After crude oil, coffee is the second most traded commodity on the entire planet. Let that sink in for a second. Oil, the stuff that literally fuels our cars, planes, and factories, is number one. And right behind it is our humble little coffee bean. It's more traded than natural gas, gold, sugar, corn. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry that employs millions and millions of people worldwide, from the farmers who grow the beans to the baristas who serve our lattes. Think about the global journey a single coffee bean takes. It might start its life on a small farm in the mountains of Colombia, or on a plantation in Vietnam, or in its ancestral home of Ethiopia. It's picked by hand, processed, dried, and then shipped across oceans to roasters in places like Italy, the United States, or Japan. From there, it's distributed to cafes, grocery stores, and eventually into your cup. All right, I have a confession to make. I've been lying to you this whole time. Well, not just me, all of us. We've been living a lie. We call them coffee beans. We talk about roasting the beans. We buy them in bags labeled whole bean coffee. But here's the bombshell, guys. Coffee beans are not beans at all. I know, take a moment. Let it wash over you. So if they aren't beans, what are they? They are actually seeds. They come from a fruit called a coffee cherry. Picture a cherry or a grape. It's a small, fleshy, usually red or purple fruit that grows on a tree. Inside that fruit, where you'd normally find a pit or a stone, you'll find two seeds nestled together, face to face. If I asked you to name the country that drinks the most coffee, what would you guess? My first thought was Italy. Espresso culture, stylish cafes, or maybe the United States. Starbucks on every corner, or maybe Brazil or Colombia. Those are good guesses, but wrong. Not even close. The undisputed heavyweight champions of coffee consumption are the Finns. Yes, Finland. Cold Nordic landscapes. Per person, nobody drinks more coffee than the Finns. The average Finn consumes about 12 kilograms, or 26 pounds, of coffee every year. Staggering. So why Finland? It gets really, really cold and dark for much of the year. A warm cup helps you stay cozy and awake. Less a treat, more a survival tool. Coffee culture is deeply embedded in society. Kavitauko. Kavitauko = coffee break. It's even written into some labor union agreements. Workers are legally entitled to coffee breaks. Coffee isn't just a morning thing. They drink it all day long, with breakfast, during official coffee breaks, after dinner. When guests come over, any occasion, they typically drink it black, or with just a little milk, usually a very light roast, unlike the dark, oily roasts popular elsewhere. So next time you think you're a big coffee drinker, remember the Finns. They're on another level. For those of us who love the taste of coffee but can't handle the jitters, decaf is a lifesaver. It's the perfect evening drink, the go-to for anyone sensitive to caffeine. We drink it assuming we're getting all the flavor without any of the buzz. But I'm about to drop a little truth bomb on you. Brace yourselves. Decaf coffee is not actually 100% caffeine-free. I know, I was shocked too. It feels like a betrayal, right? The one job it had. Here's the deal. The decaffeination process is really good, but it's not perfect. There are several ways to do it, often involving water, steam, solvents from the green, unroasted coffee seeds. But no matter which method is used, it's almost impossible to remove every single trace of caffeine. It's like trying to get all the sand out of your shoes after a day at the beach. Regulations state that for a coffee to be labeled decaffeinated, it must have at least 97% of its original caffeine content removed. This means a typical cup of decaf coffee might still contain anywhere from 2 to 7 milligrams of caffeine. For most people, this amount is so small that it's completely unnoticeable. It's just one of those funny little secrets of the coffee world. It's more like caffeine light. We often hear about the potential downsides of coffee. It can make you jittery, mess with your sleep, or give you anxiety if you have too much. But what if I told you your daily coffee habit might actually be good for you? And not just get you through a Monday, help you live a longer, healthier life. It sounds too good to be true, but a growing body of scientific research suggests it might be the case. Over the years, numerous large-scale studies have looked at the habits of hundreds of thousands of people. They've found a fascinating link. People who drink a moderate amount of coffee, usually about 2 to 4 cups per day, tend to have a lower risk of dying from a variety of causes. Heart disease, stroke, type 2 diabetes, and even some types of cancer. So what's the magic ingredient? Is it just the caffeine? Not necessarily. Coffee is incredibly complex. A single cup contains over 1,000 different botanical compounds. Many of these are powerful antioxidants and anti-inflammatory agents. These are the good guys that fight cell damage and reduce inflammation in your body. Now, this doesn't mean you should start chugging coffee like it's the fountain of youth. These studies show a correlation, not a direct cause and effect. And moderate is the key word. Loading your coffee with tons of sugar and cream probably cancels out a lot of the benefits. But it's comforting to know that this thing we love, this daily ritual, might also be doing our bodies a little bit of good. Coffee lovers are always on the hunt for the next best thing, the most flavorful bean, the most unique origin, the smoothest brew. How far would you go for the perfect cup? How much would you pay? Let's talk about the world's most expensive coffee. The story behind it is something else. It's called Kopi Luwak. It comes from Indonesia. A single cup can cost anywhere from $35 to $100. A pound can go for hundreds, even thousands of dollars. What makes it so special? Secret mountain? Unicorn tears? The truth is weirder, and a little gross. Kopi Luwak is coffee that has been eaten, digested, and then excreted by the Asian palm civet. Yes, poop coffee. I'm not sure I'm brave enough to try it. What about you? Today, coffee is a global phenomenon embraced by cultures all over the world. But it wasn't always so welcome. Coffee had its fair share of haters. In fact, it was once outright banned in Mecca. This is a crazy story. It all went down in the year 1511. Coffee had made its way from Ethiopia, across the Red Sea to Yemen, and was spreading throughout the Arabian Peninsula. Coffee houses were popping up everywhere. People would gather to drink coffee. They'd play chess, listen to music, and most importantly, talk. They would discuss politics, share news, and gossip. It was basically the 16th century version of Twitter. This made the conservative Orthodox imams of Mecca very nervous. The governor of Mecca at the time, a guy named Khair Beg, was convinced these coffee houses were breeding grounds for radical thinking and political dissent. He believed the stimulating effect of coffee was similar to alcohol, which is forbidden in Islam. So he convened a council of religious and legal scholars, presented his case, and managed to get coffee declared haram, forbidden. The coffee houses were shut down, and all the coffee in the city was ordered to be burned. Can you imagine? A citywide coffee ban? But people were not happy. The public outcry was huge. The controversy eventually reached the Sultan of Cairo, who was a big fan of coffee himself. He overturned the ban. Within a few years, coffee was back. Here's a question for all you coffee lovers out there. A bit of trivia. Which has more caffeine? A shot of espresso or a regular cup of drip coffee? Most people would instantly say espresso. I mean, it's right there in the name, express, strong, it's intense, it's concentrated. Well, prepare to have your assumptions challenged once again. Here's the tricky part, the paradox. If you compare them ounce for ounce, espresso wins, but we don't drink them the same way. One shot of espresso, about 60 to 75 milligrams of caffeine. A 12-ounce drip can contain 120 to 200 milligrams. We all have our little coffee rituals, right? But I can almost guarantee that none of us are as particular, as obsessive as Ludwig van Beethoven. He believed the perfect cup required a precise number of beans. For each cup he made, he counted out exactly 60 coffee beans by hand, one by one, 60, not 59, not 61, 60. Imagine that patience first thing in the morning. Makes our coffee habits look pretty normal by comparison. And that's it, you guys. 10 things you probably didn't know about coffee. From dancing goats, poop coffee, to presidential bans and Beethoven's bean-counting obsession. Now I think I'm going to go make a cup of coffee. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me today. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.